Update on Josh?
Feeling better. We'll see. Just kind of getting movement going here. So we'll just see how he gets some more treatment here and see how he is tomorrow.
Not ruling him out of,
No, not yet.
Variety.
Not yet. We'll see. Obviously, we see if he get through practice tomorrow.
How much closer was last night's game to what you want to be?
Bits and pieces. 7 minor penalties kind of threw things off a little bit on the sort of the rotation. Our top guys getting the ice time. But there was a lot of things that I liked. That 15 minutes of that first period, the last 15 was real good. There was lots of parts of the second, and then in the third it was kind of a wash just because of all the penalties. But there was a lot of good things in there. Certainly that when we're playing that way, we're hard to beat.
Sure, it's a challenge getting it for 60 minutes the way, or even 55.
Yeah, that's 82 games. So I mean, it is. It's the other team has something to do with it. I'm sure their coaches are barking at them as well when it's tilted the wrong way for them. But there's different ways you're going to win hockey games. You may have a solid 60. It may take you 20 minutes to win it. Sometimes you're back and forth in those tight ones. And I just like the way we got out and got up 3-0 and really got Nashville doubting, and that's what you want.
Did you learn anything about that 2-day off? I don't want to call it an experiment, but I mean the first couple shifts were pretty bad. And did you learn something?
That wasn't all about the first period of last night's game. That was about what's coming. That's even today we got our first heavy lift, which is part of their training, part of their building their base for the stretch run here. Today, and it's we didn't skate today. We had an optional, but at the end of the day, this stuff isn't all just for the next moment. I hated the way we started. Yes, we got out slow, and you can maybe throw it out a little bit of the 2 days off. But at the end of the day, just the freshness that we're hoping that we get from it. Being able, because guess what we're running into here, Friday, Saturday. 2 heavy teams, 2 big teams. Again, it's going to be a lot of work, and then after that break, we go every other day for 10 straight games. So it's coming. So this was our period here, and after the Colorado game where we have the 2 days, this is our period to kind of get some of that sort of recovery that we need.
Fill up the tank.
Yeah.
When you say heavy lift, you're talking about weight room?
Yeah.
Yeah. Has there been any change this year? Like, you were here obviously the last couple of years. Any change in what you guys are doing? I know you've mentioned the weight room and the importance. Like, was there maybe an overhaul or a different approach to that this year?
When you're not running into these Four Nations type breaks, Olympics is going to be even worse next year. You don't get to do your full recovery, your lifts, your off day workouts to maintain that summer training that you work so hard to get to, because of travel, because of so many games in a short period of time. So sometimes you don't get the recovery at all, and that has a tendency to slip. And that is a hard part of it. And guys that don't play big minutes, it's harder for them. They have to do stuff, try to play some catch up, and on a normal year, you're getting this stuff probably on a weekly basis. We haven't even been able to do that as much. So when we can, and this moment today, that's where we needed to do it.
I think the last 3 power play goals Gabe has scored. Nikolaj has had the primary assist, and it may even be more. I think he's got 10 now on the year. But we talk a lot about the chemistry like guys like Mark and Kyle have. Are you seeing like a real chemistry? Nick's ability to constantly seem to find Gabe right on that doorstep is pretty uncanny.
Yeah, I think that, like you mentioned, those 2 guys, Casey and Schiffer on the flanks, Gabe and Flyer on the inside, and whether Gabe's the back post, net front guy and flies in the pop position, or it'll pop and go the other way where Gabe pops up. So there's chemistry that has to happen between those 2, because they're sometimes that's their first outlet, is to put it to one another, whether that's going goal line into the middle or that's going goal line to back post. And so that's probably why you see it. Scheif, if we get a PK moving, that seam past Scheif to KC to Scheif, that's their avenue. And then obviously Mo's the setter from the top, has all those kind of avenues in place. So I think that has a lot to do with the proximity that those 2 are playing to each other.
Is the plan to practice tomorrow?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So if with Dylan...
No more 2 days off.
No. With Dylan, Samberg, He's out there today.
Full bore tomorrow. He's going full bore tomorrow.
Morning skate. Friday, would you have him?
There's
as
a possibility.
potential
Yep.
option?
Yep. We'll still. Well, he had another good go today. Be a part of that practice tomorrow, and then we'll just make a decision on it.
Would there ever be, when you have a player coming back off any injury, when you're having back-to-back games, like would you be cautious about maybe throwing a guy in for 2 games in 2 days and want to manage that?
We have to see what that workload is for. If he goes in Friday, we'll have to see what that workload is and how he feels too. If he feels okay for the next one.
Sorry, one more, just while we're talking about injuries, has there been any update on Mason Appleton? I think you said week to week, right?
Yeah, he's still getting there. I mean, he's still on the table. He hasn't done a whole lot of. Obviously, hasn't been on the ice. He's still going here in the weight room and then kind of in the slowly in the weight room. But no, he's still a little ways away.
Scott, excuse me, with Dylan potentially coming back this weekend and Josh questionable perhaps for Friday, what are some of the options you're contemplating on your pairings for Friday and perhaps Saturday?
I'm gonna wait. We'll see tomorrow. We'll both put Sammy in our regular sort of. Probably he'll end up with P tomorrow. I gotta see if Josh can practice. That's the biggest thing. So, and then we'll have, obviously then we're finally back to having one extra. Right now we don't. So, I got to see who's in practice tomorrow before I go there.
So there's a possibility you might have to call somebody up from the Moose then?
Depends. Obviously, see what we're saying. It has to do with Samberg. If Samberg can go, we don't have to. Then if they both can go, then we have one extra.